Hey, this is Hans from Feuerschwanz and The Dark Side of the Moon, and you're listening to That Metal Interview podcast.
That Metal Interview.
Welcome back to the show, guys and girls. Your host, James, from That Metal Interview podcast, the fastest rock metal podcast in the globe, on the globe, should I say. And anyways, on this episode, we have none other than guitarist for Feuerschwanz, Hans the Aufrechte, which could be the wrong pronunciation there, but Hans joins us to speak of their new album by the name of Fegefeuer. It came out a couple of weeks ago and is now available for you guys to stream, download, and purchase. So go ahead and do that. Right now, we're going to check out the band's most recent video and single by the name of SGFRD Dragon Slayer. Here's Feuerschwanz. We'll be right back.
Svein of Kåren, der er tumbande bud.
Siegfried saga is an ancient Nordic myth that has moved and inspired people through the centuries. Man against monster, David against Goliath, a theme where fantasy and reality meet again and again. We let the dragon loose on you. Wagner was yesterday, metal is today, quote unquote. You can find this under one of the videos for Feuerschwanz, the metal band from Europe, Napalm Records. Anyway, so here is the interview with Hans, guitarist of Feuerschwanz. Enjoy. What part of the planet are you at?
Which part of the world? Yeah, I'm in Germany.
Oh, Germany. Okay. How's the weather up there?
Oh, it's warm. It's like 25 degrees and a bit cloudy. Where are you?
I'm in Texas, U.S.
Texas, nice.
So before we get into your music, I wouldn't ask you what the name of the band means. Is it Feuerschwanz?
Right.
What is the meaning of that? What does that mean?
Very good pronunciation, actually. I heard.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it was very good. I heard lots of different versions of it already, but yours is very, very, very well, I must say.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I always wonder if you have German heritage somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, it's Feuerschwanz. It's fire. It's the fire part, and the Schwanz part is tail, like it's fire tail, like a dragon's tail, basically.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's just metal all the way then. It's metal.
Yeah, we're mostly about fantasy and all this stuff, so it has a strong dragon relationship. Our band name. And if you look at the band, at the album covers, we have lots of dragons, and the lyrics are the same direction. So the band name comes from that fantasy world.
Very cool. How about the album? How do you pronounce the album? I know the last part is like fire almost. Of Fegefeuer?
Yeah, it's Fegefeuer.
Fegefeuer, okay.
Fegefeuer. Do you know what it means?
I don't. What does that mean?
It means purgatory.
Okay.
It's like from, Dante, like a medieval or an ancient writer, and he made the different circles of hell, basically. It's a divine comedy, it's called, and he made the different circles of hell, and one of it is the Fegefeuer, the purgatory. And if you look at the album cover, basically it's that we did put a dragon down there and have a medieval knight fighting the dragon in the purgatory in the Fegefeuer.
That's awesome. Everything about your band and the album, everything's metal so far.
Yeah, we try.
So speaking of the album, it's dropping July 7th, not too far from now, about a week or so. Talk to us about the album. Who recorded it, the band members, and who created the album, the music?
Oh well, who recorded it? We record basically partially at home. Like I record my guitars at my home studio, but we also have a good friend of us, Simon Michael. He has a recording studio where he's recording the vocals and the drums and stuff like that. And he's also the producer of our band and also a very good drummer. But yeah, that's where we are recording everything. And yeah, we are writing our stuff mostly together with Ben, which is our singer. He has lots of ideas and vocal ideas, and I add guitar riffs on top of it, and so everything comes together sooner or later. But we are we do lots of writing actually. So usually when we drop an album, probably like 2 weeks after, we're going to start to write the next songs for the next album. So we always try to keep the flow going.
Wow, very cool. So how many songs on the album can we expect?
It's 11 songs. It's 11 original songs. And yeah, it's mostly, the lyrics are mostly about fantasy related things. So the first track of the album is called Siegfried, Dragon Slayer. And that's the guy on the album cover. And Siegfried is an old saga from Germany and from Scandinavian countries. Basically, it's about a knight who goes to slay a dragon, and to become invincible afterwards, he is going to bath in the blood of the dragon. So he's taking a bath in the blood, but there's a leaf from a tree falling on his shoulder, and that little part is not covered by blood, so he's vulnerable there on that part on his shoulder. And eventually he gets killed by a spear, and who's hitting exactly there where the leaf was falling. And that's the saga. It's a bit longer. It's also about dwarves and golden treasure and about a ring as well. And yeah, it's a very old saga. But that's the first song. It's the album opener. What the song is about.
Are you excited for the new CD? Are you excited for fans?
Oh, we always. Yeah, definitely. We are always excited because we're working so long to write the songs, to record everything, and it takes a while, and nobody's hearing it besides the band and the producer and the record company, and so finally it's getting out to the people, and it's always exciting to see how everybody is going to react to the stuff you were working on for the last 1.5 years, you know. So it's always a very, very exciting moment. It's the climax of a long process.
Would you say it's power metal or is this Viking metal? What would you call the genre here?
Well, originally it's coming from, in Germany you call a certain style, it's called medieval rock, and that's where we come from.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty, we evolved from there, but that's where we started basically, and there are a couple of bands doing that kind of music, like doing rock plus violin, bagpipes, and old instruments like maybe a harp or maybe a hurdy-gurdy and that stuff. And we got harder and harder over the years. So I would say it's power metal with German lyrics and medieval instruments.
Yeah, you mentioned bagpipes. I saw that.
Yes.
I saw you guys live on YouTube a couple of times. And whose idea was that? That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's where how the band started off. I mean, the band started off in 2004, I think. It was before I even joined the band. And they started as a purely acoustic playing band without drums, without electric guitar, and without bass. And they played on Renaissance fairs and stuff like that, like just with bagpipes and acoustic guitar. And that's where the band is coming from. And we still have those medieval instruments in there, like the flute or violin and the bagpipe. That's what we kept. But over the years we thought it's more fun to play the bigger stages with loud guitars and drums.
That's cool. How does that work? I'm sure there's a wireless mic for the bagpipes, right?
Right. Here's a mic attached to a wireless mic attached to the bagpipe itself with a small microphone.
Yeah. Wow, very cool. Yeah. So, did you guys start writing this album with fresh ideas, or did you use the same formula as the last album, Memento Mori?
I would say both, actually, because you're always influenced by the stuff you did before, and you always build up, and you always continue on the things you worked on before. So it's always like an ongoing process. It's a path you walk, basically. And Memento Mori was a step on that path, and the album before was a step, and now we're doing the next step. So everything builds up on each. It builds up from the past. So in a way, of course, it's influenced by what we've done before. Yeah. But of course, we try to include always fresh ideas, because we're all different personalities, and every one of us has ideas, reads books, has his own personal life, and everything obviously influences the music you do.
Yeah.
Art is always influenced by the stuff you learned and the stuff you do as a person, you know. And
yeah, the style has to be there. The band, you pick up a guitar and that's you. You know, that's just the signature of the instrument. I saw an interview. I saw an interview one time with Ted Nugent, who he said one time he saw Eddie Van Halen at a festival backstage, and they traded guitars just to see how the guitar felt. And Ted Nugent said that he said, "Well, I picked up Eddie Van Halen's guitar, and it did not sound like Eddie Van Halen. It sounded like me."
Exactly. Exactly.
And then Eddie was playing. Yeah, and then Eddie was playing his guitar, and he said he did not sound like me. It sounded like Eddie on my guitar.
Yeah, I heard the same story about Eric Clapton and Eddie Van Halen. It's basically the same.
Oh.
It's a lot of your personality, and it's not so much about the equipment. It's more about the person who uses the equipment. Yeah, it's about what you play and not the equipment you use.
Yeah, your signature has to be there, the band's formula. Yeah. So very cool. It has to carry on into the next CD.
exactly.
Whose idea was it with the stage outfits? That's very cool.
Oh, it's something which it evolved over the years as well. It wasn't a sudden idea and hey, let's do stage outfits. It just started when the band started. They just used like live action role playing outfits and started to dress up, and from there it evolved and it got more and more refined. And a lot of the outfits are done by our singer's wife. Actually, she's bringing in a lot of ideas and she's tailoring it herself for us. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. It's very cool, actually. Yeah. So, how long have you been playing guitar? Is it
How long I'm playing guitar? 35 years maybe.
Oh wow.
I have to count.
Yeah. So you started.
About 35 years. Well, about 35 years, I guess. Yeah.
Did you take classes, or are you just a natural? You picked it up on your own, and.
I had private lessons at the beginning, like for half a year by one guy from my school, which was like 1 or 2 grades above me, ahead of me. And when I finished school, I went for a summer semester to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and that was quite cool actually. Yeah. And afterwards, I always tried to get influences by picking up stuff. At a time, I had like for a week some lessons from a gypsy guitar player, and yeah, but mostly I'm absorbing things which I like, and the things I don't like, I leave on the side.
So you mentioned Boston, okay? So you went to school here in the U.S.
Yeah, right. But just for a summer. I couldn't afford like doing a full study. But Berklee College of Music is the music school where the guys from Dream Theater, they studied there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Steve Y studied there. Yeah, lots of cool guys. It's a really great school of music.
Did you play in any clubs, any bars when you were here in school?
No. I just went to school there.
It's just all school only.
I did the small clubs over here, like starting out with bands, and you start small and then you play all the small venues.
So, what's your favorite part of playing live or touring? What's your favorite part there?
What's my favorite part? Being on stage, and we have clubs and we have big stages like Wacken, and both are nice in their own way. You know, like in Wacken, like you have 50,000 people, and you have that's such a lot of energy. And in the smaller clubs with like 1 to 2,000 people, it's much closer. You see all the faces and you can interact much more with the single persons. Everything has its pro and cons, you know. And yeah, I love both, like playing the great big stages and festivals, and also getting out in clubs. But traveling is something I don't like that much because you're spending a lot of time on the road.
Yeah, that's kind of hard it's not for everybody. Waking up in an airport or waking up in a van or in a bus, it's not your bed.
And then you have a shitty bus driver and you can't sleep.
Right. So here,
these things you have to drive quick.
Here's a different question. If you could time travel to the past or into the future, where would you visit? What part of time or in what year would you visit?
Oh, that's difficult. I think musical-wise, I think like the 70s would have been fine. Like all the rock music or the metal music started with bands like Black Sabbath and something.
Yeah.
Historically, of course, I'd be curious to see how it would have been in the Middle Ages or something. But I wouldn't know why I would have wanted to live back at that time, because all of the medical situation and everything. So I'm actually, in a way, I'm quite happy that I'm living now. But I would be curious to see, just for a day maybe, how it would have been having no internet and no cars and no TV and all that, you know.
What kind of music do you listen to, Hans? What is it on your playlist? Is it only metal and rock?
No, it's not only metal. It's everything. I listen to Prince. I like Prince a lot.
Oh yeah.
He was a fantastic guitar player as well, actually.
He was good, yeah.
And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and I also listen to some classical guitar players, like flamenco, like Spanish flamenco music, and some jazz. Well, what kind of music is nice. I'm not just focused on one style of music, because that gets boring pretty quick, and cool to get new influences in there. I like also music from movie soundtracks, actually. Like a couple of weeks ago, I went to, Hans Zimmer, the composer.
Okay.
He did the music for Pirates of the Caribbean and Inception, Gladiator, and stuff like that. And he was on tour with a big orchestra, and I went there like a couple of weeks ago, and it was fantastic. It was a fantastic show.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, that's interesting. So let's speak of the dark side of the moon. New project. Yes. Talk to us about this. How did this come together?
Well, Melissa Bonney, our singer, and I knew her from Feuerschwanz. She was doing a guest appearance on a Feuerschwanz song, and afterwards she texted me, "Hey, let's do a bet. Let's see which video hits 1 million views first, our new song from Feuerschwanz or the new song of her band Ad Infinitum." And Feuerschwanz did win. So I dared her to sing on a track of mine, a song of mine. And that was a cover from Game of Thrones, 10 Years Old Stones.
Okay.
And just for fun, I did send the song to our manager and to the record label, and they loved it, and they immediately said, "Hey, we want to do a full album." And yeah, so we've been in the lucky situation just having one song, but a contract for a full album. It was a little bit of a pressure, but I think we did quite well afterwards. But usually it's the other way around, you have a band, you go in the rehearsal room, you write songs, and then you have 10 or 20 songs, and then you send them out, and hey, we want to do a record. But in our case, it was the other way around, which was, in a way, quite funny, actually.
So it's everything over a bid. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and then we did some more cover songs, but we also did 3 original songs, and in May our album was released, and it was received quite well, I think. It hit the German album charts on 17, and in Switzerland it was like 18, and got very good criticisms and review.
Yeah, it's good stuff, good music. I run an online radio station here in Texas, J-Rock's Metal Zone, and yeah, we play your music.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Oh yeah.
That's cool.
When I first heard the title of the band, I thought, of course, you think of Pink Floyd, of course. The Dark Side of the Moon, right? Very cool. Right. Very cool ideas.
Yeah,
and so
for us, the Dark Side of the Moon is basically the other side of the songs we are covering. Usually you see from the moon you see just one side, the light side, and that's the song But we show you the dark side, the other side, the side you never knew, the side behind the shiny side. We show you the dark side of the songs you thought you already know.
Yeah.
That's basically.
So
that's what the band name stands for.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Have you guys started playing live or not yet?
Yes, we did. We played 3 shows. We've played 4 shows to the weekend of our album release, and just next Thursday we're going to play our first big festival, like in front of like 20,000 people, which is called Rock Hearts here in Germany, and this will be fun. Really looking forward to it.
So what's next for yourself, Hans? What's on your agenda right now, on your schedule? After these interviews, where are you going right now? What's up?
Well, I have 2 other interviews, and then I'm picking up the guitar again to prepare for the weekend. We're playing with Feuerschwanz 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday, and then the festival with the Dark Side of the Moon and also Feuerschwanz will be next Thursday, and there's lots of festivals ahead in the summer. We're playing in Spain, in Czech Republic, in Italy with Feuerschwanz. It's pretty crowded, and it will be a lot of fun.
Must be exciting. How many new songs are you guys playing live?
A couple. I think 4, maybe 4. Yeah. But the thing is, for most of the people, they haven't heard the songs from the last 2 albums live already because of the lockdowns, So we are here bringing like the last 2 albums plus the new album mainly on stage, because we released during the pandemic. We released 2 albums and we didn't really have a chance to play them properly live, the songs. So basically, this is the first real season of all the new stuff we have. Yeah.
Will we see?
Last year still was a bit slow. But this summer it's going full speed.
Will we see the band in the US? Either band, Dark Side of the Moon, or?
Well, I hope. We've been on the 70,000 Tons of Metal.
Okay.
Which is some sort of US, I guess. It starts in Miami and then it goes into international waters in the Caribbean. But yeah, and we would love to play the US, of course. But that's a lot to organize for a band from Europe. So we have to see when and how it will happen.
Hopefully we'll see you guys in Texas.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Before we let you go, Hans, would you like to send a message to your fans listening to this podcast?
Well, if you can listen to the album, or even buy the album, and maybe listen to it from the start to the end, because these days usually people are listening to music and do some stuff otherwise, and music is just background music. But music is worth to get your full attention. Maybe at least once, make it a full listen from start to end.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you for your time, Hans. Thank you for making time, and thank you for bringing awesome metal to us fanatics. And I appreciate that awesome music and great guitar playing, man. Very cool.
Thanks. Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. Hopefully we'll see you in Texas soon.
Anytime again.
Yeah, we'll do it again for sure. Thank you, Hans. Take it easy, and we'll keep in touch.
All right. We're going to have a great day.
Medieval metal is what I would call Feuerschwanz. You guys can look it up. Feuerschwanz. Feuerschwanz. And we thank Hans for making time and joining us. And we thank Napalm Records, of course, for providing awesome music throughout the years. And thank you to all of them there. Thank you to the rest of the band of Feuerschwanz. Thank you to Hopman, Joanna, Prinz, Jarny, Rollo, and of course Hans for making such awesome metal, medieval metal if you will, for us fanatics. So anyways, as far as the podcast, thank you guys for caring and tuning in and downloading and making it the fastest rising metal rock podcast in the world. So anyways, don't forget to look us up on socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. Reddit, of course. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, That Metal Interview Podcast. It's That Metal Interview Podcast. So anyways, don't forget to keep it metal.
That Metal Interview.